Welcome to the Know, I'm Mica.
I'm Ben.
It's no secret that the Switch has been a hot seller for Nintendo over the last year, and some new sales numbers just really underscore that fact. The console has had an amazing 10 months, and that doesn't show any signs of cooling off, at all.
No, but what's next for the red hot console in 2018? And whatever happened to that Pokemon game we were promised?
Yeah, whatever happened to that, Nintendo? Well, we've got some new sales stats for the Switch, and as expected, it continues to do stupid well. The console has now outsold the Wii U in less than a year of release, and it's been the driving force behind Nintendo's return to the top of the industry.
The question everyone has now is, can Nintendo keep it up in 2018? While Nintendo had an undoubtedly great 2017 that was highlighted by a pair of classic Mario and Zelda games, its lineup seems a little more bare this year.
But don't worry, Nintendo executives say they've got more tricks up their sleeve, and it doesn't just involve cardboard, so how's that for a teaser? I mean, when the first lineup came out for the Switch, we all thought it was bare too. And now look who's laughing all the way to the bank.
Look, if the cardboard thing doesn't pan out, just throw more cardboard at us.
Right.
I think it actually might work somehow. It's Nintendo's thing. Okay, let's dig into the numbers first. These come from Nintendo's third quarter results, where their company described its performance for the 9-month period that ended in December 31st.
After sales, the Switch has now sold a total of 14.86 million units since it launched in March of last year, which is more than the Wii U sold during its entire life cycle. That's equal parts great for the Switch and kinda sad for the poor Wii U.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, may it rest in peace. Anyway, Nintendo now predicts that the Switch will hit 17.74 million units by March 2018.
As for games, Super Mario Odyssey leads the pack with more than 9 million copies shipped. And an interesting tidbit noted by Eurogamer news editor Tom Phillips, that's more copies than Battlefront 2 sold on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One combined.
Yikes!
Yeah, and Mario Odyssey doesn't even have loot boxes.
The other big Switch games include Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 7.3 million, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at 6.7 million, and Splatoon 2, as I like to call it, Sploon, at 4.9 million.
Other games that crossed the million sold threshold were 1-2-Switch, ARMS, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Of course, all of this has been very, very good for Nintendo's bottom line. Its revenue was more than $4.4 billion, and its operating profit was up more than 260% compared to last year, so that's, decent.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Those numbers beat investor expectations, and Nintendo stock prices jumped more than 2% today. Over the last year, its stock price has more than doubled, which makes sense when you consider how popular the Switch has been. Nintendo also raised various sales and profit forecasts because, things are really going well for them right now.
Yeah, Nintendo also said that the increased Switch sales weren't hurting the 3DS at all. The company said that sales of the handheld actually grew in the US during the holiday season, but overall sales of the 3DS were down 9% compared to last year at more than 5.8 million units. Still though, that's not a huge surprise considering how old the 3DS is at this point. Seriously.
As for 3DS games, the leader won't surprise you. Okay, make that liters.
Right.
Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon have sold a total of more than 7 million units, but overall software sales on the 3DS declined to 31 million units. That's a 33% decrease.
As for mobile, Nintendo was up in that department as well. It shouted out Super Mario Run and Fire Emblem Heroes, while also mentioning that Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is doing really well with fans. The company income from mobile was up 172% compared to last year.
So yeah, it looks like Nintendo is firing on all cylinders. The big question now is, can Nintendo keep it up? Nintendo had an undeniably killer lineup of games last year, but has it shot its wad?
The biggest games scheduled for 2018 are Yoshi Kirby Star Allies, a new Fire Emblem, and Octopath Traveler. Oh, yeah, also we're getting ports of Bayonetta 1 and 2, Dark Souls, and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
I got really excited to read that lineup, actually.
Right?
That's not a bad lineup by any means.
No.
But it doesn't quite have the same firepower that we saw last year.
Right, there's no new Zelda or anything. Of course, Nintendo also shook things up earlier this month when they announced Labo, the series of cardboard-based peripherals. It was unique and totally unlike anything we've ever seen before from a video game company. In short, exactly the kind of thing we'd expect from Nintendo.
I, for one, look forward to VR cardboard Lego overlords. But they might have something else in the works too. Nintendo CEO Tatsumi Kimishima was quoted by Wall Street Journal reporter Takashi Mochizuki as saying, "Aside from Labo, we've also prepared other ways of expanding ways to play on the Nintendo Switch."
Ooh.
Mochizuki added that his paper is aware of unannounced peripheral devices for the Switch.
So what could that mean? Well, your guess is as good as ours, but given Nintendo's reputation for shaking things up, it's definitely worth paying attention to.
But back to games for a second. What about that mainline Pokemon game that they've been talking about for the Switch?
I want it.
That's all the news I want.
Give
we
it
haven't
now.
heard much about that since a brief announcement at E3 last year.
Well, in its quarterly report, Nintendo briefly mentioned the Pokemon Switch game, saying that it'll get here by 2018 or later. Maybe this year, but Yeah, probably not.
Give me them deets. I want more of them details.
I know.
Still, whether or not we get a Pokemon game this year, there's no denying that Nintendo keeps on rolling with the Switch, and it's now got the attention of the gaming world again.
And as for its unannounced project, given that Nintendo always prides itself in doing things differently, it'll be interesting to see what they've got up their sleeve. I'm hoping it's like Animal Crossing, but IRL. They put you in the middle of a town with giant fucking animals, and you gotta just be a mayor.
I'm just expecting like, hey, tomorrow, Nintendo Direct, boom, games. It's gonna
just
be
every game ever.
People are gonna be really excited.
Nintendo wins.
What do you guys think about the latest sales numbers for the Switch, and what do you think Nintendo could be working on next? Let us know in the comments.
And for all of your Nintendo news, and hopefully when Animal Crossing is gonna come to the Switch, be sure to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the Nintendo Give Me Animal Crossing.
I'm like literally going back to my Switch. It's right there.
Yeah, it's literally on the couch.
Literally right there on the couch.
Grew in the US during the holiday season, but overall sales of the 3DS were down 9% compared to last year at more than 4 point.
Declined to 31 million units. That's a 33% decrease.
And Fire Emblem Heroes, while also mentioning that Animal Crossing Pocket Game is doing really well with fans.
Sorry, should we
Pocket Camp, that's what I thought, yeah.